So back to F&N Radio Podcast.
F&N Radio Podcast. It's your girl Faithe.
And I'm Natalie.
And
you're watching
Deuce.
This girl is stuck on this. I don't know if she's trying to say dose, y'all, or she's
I'm
talking about
saying
alcohol, but
I'm saying what I want to say.
You're watching episode 2 with us.
Yes, welcome back. We definitely hope y'all enjoyed the first one.
Yes. So please keep up with those views and keep running us up. But today we have a special guest.
A special guest.
Yes. It's gonna be our first entrepreneur. Like we said last episode, that we're gonna be jumping from topics to having people come sit with us. And today we have somebody to come sit with us.
Yes. So in order to see who is sitting with us, stay tuned.
Yes.
This is our special guest.
How y'all doing?
Jeff Sarita.
Welcome me to the podcast.
Yes,
Second episode.
welcome Jeff. Yes, episode number 2.
Thank y'all for inviting me.
No, thank you
course.
for coming and sit with us. So
First of all, we in Jeff's studio. Anyway.
yes, we are. Let's just say that. So it was only right that we had him here first, because he didn't have to let us use his studio, but he is, and we're so grateful for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they family.
Yes, we're so grateful.
Familia.
Yeah. Episode number 2.
I don't know how to say 2 in Spanish.
Not
Dos.
Like I said, Deuce.
So we're gonna take our little. Jeff got water.
Yeah.
So he'll
Yeah.
We're gonna take our little shot of our alcohol, and he's gonna take his shot of water. So
Cheers.
to a productive episode,
Number
and
12.
to y'all getting to know Jeff. So
Let's get
I'm
this
excited.
shit
I'm excited.
No, we're excited to have you here.
yes, we really are.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically this episode is going to be about getting to know Jeff. If you don't know Jeff and what he does, he's a photographer. Him and Faithe actually work together.
Yes.
They actually work together. So I know about Jeff. Faithe probably knows about Jeff a little bit more than me. So today, like I said, we're gonna get to know Jeff, and he's gonna give us some insight about photography, being a photographer, and if anybody's watching that wants to be a photographer, you won't watch this.
Holla at your boy.
Yes. Okay,
For
so
sure.
Jeff, we do have some questions for
All right.
you.
All right.
So I just
We
hope
could go tit for tat.
Yes.
Okay. Oh look.
I just hope you're ready.
Look at it. She ready this time. Last time you were struggling with your
I
question.
was struggling, but I'm ready now.
Okay.
So since Jeff said that she was struggling with her questions, we're gonna have my sister start first.
Okay.
She gonna
Go with the heat.
redemption.
Come with the heat.
Redemption.
Coming with the heat.
So basically, just number 1. How did you get started with photography?
Well, it's weird how I started, really.
Weird?
Because when I started photography, my brother, he was a DJ, but he also got to own a club. So at that age, I was in high school. I mean, what am I gonna be doing in a club? You know, at that age, I was like 16 years old. You know.
You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie. Jeff was probably sneaking up in there.
No. My brother was the DJ, and he owned some of the clubs. So he needed somebody to take pictures. I was in high school and needed a little extra money, and that's really how I started taking pictures. He had a camera, gave it to me, and then that's it.
That's dope though.
Yeah,
I've never heard nobody start off like that, and I know a couple photographers, and I've never heard anything like that. Like, oh, my brother owned the club, and he wanted me to come take pictures. Like, that's cool though.
That is
at 16, because at 16, if I was in a club, my mama was gonna whoop my,
Right. But since I had the supervision of my brother being there,
it's cool. It's cool.
Right. So it was cool, because I look at me now,
Look at me.
It really paved the way for me. Look,
no, for real,
right?
For real, you a dope ass photographer, y'all. If y'all haven't seen my Real to headshots, and if y'all haven't seen any like Wrldinvsn shoots or any other shoots, this the man,
right?
Yeah,
this the man.
And he did. Side note, and he did our pictures. The pictures on our page, he definitely did those nice, clean cut. Love clean pictures, and if you're looking to book, I'm just telling you now, this. Book on him.
Man.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Let's see. I be having deep. Look, y'all. Look, y'all.
My heart just dropped.
I have 12 questions.
Exactly. Don't play with her, dog.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off like, cause I have some like real deep into photography questions, but I'm gonna just start off like
What?
I'm gonna start off with the simple questions like Faithe started us off. How do you learn and grow in your craft?
Really, you learn by really doing it. Really, that's how you. It's really like you got to do it to learn. Really, because you can watch all the videos you want, but if you're not out there doing it. Yourself, you're not really gonna learn, because you can listen or see something, and if you hear it coming through one ear, go through the other one. But if you're out there, you're learning.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's really how you.
So basically, like trial and error.
Trial and error. Exactly. That's the word really that I was looking for. But that's really how you get better, really shooting.
No, that makes sense. It's not like something where, you know how us girls are like, oh, well, how you sit down with a makeup artist, how'd you learn how to do makeup? I watch YouTube videos. Wait, I get that, because with photography, it's like lighting, it's editing. It's not something where you could just sit down and watch YouTube videos and
right.
I'm gonna already like learn, and I already know how to be a photographer. So. Right.
You gotta. Yeah, they have a lot of courses out there that you could, take and watch, but you got to be doing it. You got to be doing it. That's the only.
It's like homework,
right?
Yeah.
Did you take any courses?
Actually, I did one class from a photographer in New York.
Okay.
And it was really like, it was a class of really like how to like engage with the model and stuff. And that's really when I first like started shooting people as like models, because I was really just taking pictures of people in the clubs, and stuff like that. It wasn't really like
you had a person there posing, and having to fix, like go back and edit certain things. Right.
So that's like one of the classes, and then really like I really just self-taught. I mean, I have so many good videos on YouTube that you can learn. I took from a lot of different photographers.
And made that shit your own.
Right, made that shit my own. But yeah.
Okay. I think that's a question that, like if you're upcoming and you want to be a photographer, because like some people think it's just as easy as watching a video and here I'm going I'm gonna figure everything out. But I think that needed to be said, because like you said, it's a trial and error thing. I have to go out and take pictures. I have to go out and get a model and learn how to edit and use certain softwares and stuff like that.
And it's like you have to with that photography, like you have to have people trusting you to want to do that, because people are not gonna just want to, I'm gonna let Jeff take my pictures. Jeff didn't do nothing yet, so it's like you have to have them people that actually believe in you to help you out with that.
Right, exactly. Right. So I've actually, like when I first started, I used to just reach out to a lot of models. Hey, let's let's collab. Let me do so. That really helped me out a lot. Like I grew a lot because I used to do a lot of collaborations with people. That's how I got better. Working with models and just taking pictures. Really, every day I feel, even though I say I've been doing it for about 13 years now.
Damn.
I feel like every
time, y'all. That's a long time.
Right.
It is a long time.
So look, matter of fact, yesterday it was 10 years since I graduated high school.
Really?
Wow.
We went to the same high school.
Yeah.
What's Jeff?
I'm East Side, East Jeff.
Sorry. At least you're a Jeff.
Right, you're a Jeff.
Yeah, no, but even though I've been doing it for this long, I feel like every every day really I learn something new. Every day you learn something new. You can never learn enough.
Yeah, no, you're dope.
Yeah, I think that being a photographer is like, it's a really diverse career. So I feel you on the like, cause seeing that, you saying that, okay, I learn something new like every day. It's not something that's, you know, like, oh, it's just so easy to do.
You're right, exactly. So it's like, I learned. I don't have to learn something else. I don't have to. You usually learn something new every day. Just looking at simple lighting from the sun. You know, like, what does it do? Like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
So when you started off, did you start like, oh, I'm gonna take your picture for free?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do it. There's a lot of that. A lot of free, and you know, you basically not charging much. You know, because you're not even like really confident in your work when you first start. You know, so it was a lot of that. And I used to shoot so many different things, and that's one thing too, that once you get to a certain level, you kind of choose the path of the photography you want to do, because there's, wedding photographers, landscape, and portraits, and babies, and so you kind of like, right, so once you get to a certain point, you kind of pick the path you want to go, you know, and you know, yeah.
So, what was the startup cost like for you?
Startup cost?
Yeah.
Ooh, hold up. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question. I like that question.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. So when I started, I bought a camera, and matter of fact, I still got the camera. My girl uses it for like YouTube and stuff, and it was like it was a pretty basic, decent camera, and I probably paid $800 or something for it, and it's a good camera, but they have like professional grade cameras and a decent camera for, you know, just regular people, and so I bought a camera with a kit, you know, it was like a kit camera. I was like, well, $800 and it comes with a lens, like, it's a kit, you know, like, so basically that's one thing that I used to do. I used to buy a lot of kit things, like a camera with, okay, I'm gonna buy the kit, comes with $800 with two lenses, and right, but, you know, the lenses aren't really great, you know,
that is true.
Right, so, and then I would buy like little, like, lights, and I would buy like basically the cheapest, but a kit, you know, because I would be like, all right, comes with a kit, comes with 3 lights, you know,
right.
So I bought, it was, I probably spent with my startup, I'd say about $1,800 with my startup, and it sounds like a lot. It does sound like a lot, like,
but that's probably not a lot.
Right, it's not a lot.
Literally.
Well, I mean, to the much I have invested now is a whole, yeah.
Right, because as you go on, you're spending more money on lens, because you're getting better lens.
Right,
you know, like these startup lenses, and then you're spending more money on the lens that are more like up to your advanced.
Right, to the pro level, right.
Yeah, so
yeah, but now I can't even tell you how much money I've.
If you're watching this and you want to be a photographer, you tell me right here, look.
Yeah, it costs money. It costs money, but the quality of the image is just unmatched. I mean, you're gonna make your money back. You know?
Oh yeah.
But I feel like every day, like, all right, I'll buy something and I'll be like, all right, that's it. Nah, that's not really.
That's not.
Right.
I gotta buy something else next week.
Yes.
Like, and it happens to me a lot where I say, all right, I only need this lens, and then next week I need a light or something, or a modifier or something.
Yeah. Or I need this backdrop, and my client wants a different backdrop that I don't have.
Right.
So it's just like you're constantly buying stuff.
And I wouldn't even really say that, because backdrop, I mean, it gets dirty and all that, so you know you're gonna kind of get that. I just mean like as like a lens or flash, or, you know, a trigger or something, you know, that.
And side note, I just know this because I used to model, like I said in the first episode, that's how we started our friendship, we're models. But just lighting and stuff like that costs money.
Yeah, it
like
costs money.
Real money.
It costs money.
just the lighting in itself, I know that much. So yeah, if you want to be a photographer, you telling me right now. And you gotta, if it's something that you really want to do, you gotta invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself, and I do that. Sometimes I just don't buy things just because I want to just invest it into my. Because I know, I mean, I'm making the money, but I also know that the more I put in, the better quality stuff I can do, I can make more money, and that's how I think.
And it's also you being smart about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, he just gave y'all the rundown on. You have to invest in yourself if you want to be a photographer. It's not, like anything.
Anything. That applies to any kind of, business you want to start. If you want to succeed, you gotta invest.
Yeah.
Invest.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I guess that's my question. Let's see. What do you like about being a photographer the most?
What do I like? Well, really, I'd say just the creating part. Really, like staying creative. That's really what I really love the most. Is just the process of everything. Really creating. I mean, and a lot of times you work with a team, so it's like you team. I love that. Really. I love that. So let me ask you
the
creative part.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like working with a team, or do you like doing like solo stuff, being like an independent like photographer, or do you like having like a team so that way you have somebody to do this, you have somebody to do that, like?
Well, I think once you got to realize that once you get to a certain point, if you want to make it, if you want to go further, you got to have a team around you. Like you got to think of these top companies. And everybody has a team. You can't do everything yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot do everything yourself.
Especially if you're trying to scale, like, and you're growing at a fast pace.
Right.
Like, you're definitely going to have those people. Okay, let me have my assistant to where they could be talking to all the models. They could be booking this. They could be booking that. Okay, let me have this makeup artist so, the models don't have to worry about coming, doing their own face. Okay, let me have a hairstylist. Like, yeah, you're definitely going to have everything delegate.
Right. And not just that,
delegate.
Like, if you have to worry about everything, then your mind is going to be so overloaded. Like, so that's really like having a team is good, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely important. But I know my friend Jeff over here, he's a family man. So family man, he got a girl, he got 2 boys. So definitely,
I'm a coach.
He a coach. Yeah. He be in the gym, y'all. We go to the same gym too, y'all.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot, right?
How is that? How do you balance that? Like, or do you even feel like there's a such thing as balance?
Really, like, I just really try to keep ahead of schedule really with everything. Like if I know that I'm really planning a week ahead for what I have going on. Like if I know my kids have 3 days or 4 days of baseball, I'm not really thinking about that the week before. So I can't just, I have to stay like that. I have to stay thinking about, I gotta stay ahead of the game, So that's the only way. I can't like really like the week of try to plan for something, and that's really with everything. I really think that people should plan ahead of time. That's the best.
Yeah, because if not, you run around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Right, exactly.
You definitely run around with your chicken like a chicken with your head cut off. So I agree on that. Like planning, and just by her saying, because like I didn't know that. Like I said, y'all, Faith and Jeff work together, so I'm getting to know Jeff as y'all watching this. But I didn't know that. Like, I knew you had a girl. I didn't know you had 2 boys. You coach, and you're a photographer. So that's, like trying to balance that out.
Right.
And, like for anybody that's up and coming, that was a good question because, like, I'm sure you're trying to balance like, your actual work job, and you're trying to balance like what you want to do with your life.
Or even if you're in school, there's all these different factors that could, play a part in you trying to have balance. So it's like, you have to make sure that you're still giving the time to the people that need the time. Right. Even though you do need to put the work in the craft, but it's like is there really a thing called balance? Like,
Right.
is there really a thing called balance? Because I know a lot of people debate that, especially when you're starting out at first. You need to put all your time into your craft, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, when do you feel like there's a point where you're able to see a balance? As far as, because I know, like I said, in the beginning, you have to give all your time to this particular thing that you want to do, and then you have your family here, so it's like, do you remember a moment where you finally feel like you could, you know, have balance? Or do you always feel like you had that, you know?
Well, I've always been pretty good. I feel like that's something that I've learned from my parents, really. Like, I felt like I'm always a person on time to places. You know that. I'm always there early.
Well, Jeff be like 30 hour minutes.
And you know how I am. I'm even like that with you. Actually, you went to the gym today.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeff be on my ass, y'all.
Yeah, no, I'm that type of person. So I'm good. I'm good with that. Like, I hold people accountable. So, like, I feel like I got to the point where I gotta make sure, like, I have that balance. Like, I gotta make sure that I stay on track. So, and that's really because after you have a routine, like, it's hard to get off balance, like, because you're doing it every time, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. And even like you said, planning ahead, like, and taking what you do seriously and stuff like that, shows, like, I'm just speaking on behalf of, like, client. Like, let's just say somebody books with you and you know your son has a game this day. Let's just say you didn't plan ahead, but you also booked somebody the same day as your son's game. Like, you know, like, as a client, people are looking at you like, okay, like, you didn't know you had this game.
They don't care about shit you got going on.
Right, they don't care. And so, and granted, like, if you're paying somebody for a service, you're looking at them like, So I think that's a good thing about you, because like I said in our first episode, and I just was telling them something before we started this episode, as a business person, an entrepreneur, you have to have, hold yourself accountable, like he said, and you also have to go, like, buy a form or a set of, like you said, planning ahead, so that way your personal life doesn't interfere with your business work, and the clients that do book you, they can trust in you and they can come back and give you their service because, oh, I'm gonna be on time, oh, I'm gonna have your pictures by whatever time my booking site says. So I think that's a good thing, and I salute you, because like I said in that first episode, I said I done had some things with business owners and entrepreneurs. And I like that about you, because you sitting here and he's saying that he holds himself accountable and he plans ahead, so that way nothing like that arises.
Even what you was just saying about you know, getting the pictures out on time, like my website says, because that's a lot of photographers are getting bashed now because they're not delivering what they said that they were going to deliver as far as, like, time. Like, oh, I'm going to have your pictures on Wednesday the 14th, April 14th. Okay, now we're in June.
Right,
and I still don't have nothing. And I did the shoot for my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
My birthday's about to be... Yeah, my birthday already passed.
Exactly.
Right, and I don't have my pictures. But I think, you know, that's a good thing, and I feel like... maybe you can touch about that too, having a booking site as a photographer, and what people, because I'm not gonna solely put the finger on photographers, because some people you're booking last, and I would never do this situation, but I'm guilty of doing stuff last minute because I feel like I work good under pressure. But in this case, let's just say I had a birthday shoot and I come like a week, maybe 2 weeks before, and you're telling me your booking site says you take 14 days for photo return, and I'm still booking and I'm telling you I need my pictures, but I signed this consent form, I agree to whatever booking terms you have on your booking site, and I expect my pictures. So I'm not going to fully point the finger at photographers, because some people do that last minute stuff too, and then you sit here and you blame the photographers, but you also got to hold yourself accountable as a client, because you signed to these terms.
So good thing you touched on that though, because there's a lot of people that, all right, your birthday is next week and you want to do the shoot, you want to book it last minute, and you want if they're telling you 10 or 14 days, you gotta think about it. Your 7 days is not enough. So if I give it to you after that, then
you can't be mad.
You can't be mad. Like if I get it to you before, then cool, you know. But now some people pay rush fees.
That's true.
Like,
so what would your rush fee look like? Say for example, if your site says 14 days and somebody want to rush to get it in 7 days, what would that look like for you for a rush fee?
Well, it really depends, because it depends really like the amount of pictures. It really depends on a lot. It's usually, most photographers really is like either from 100 to 150, because you gotta think you're skipping people. You know, you're skipping.
Right.
You're skipping
you're
other
not
people.
the
You're gonna
only
get
client.
right. You're gonna get other people mad. Like,
exactly.
So you gotta make it. You gotta be worth it. You know. So right.
Not worth it, but I get it. I get it.
So like. Yeah, you gotta pay. You gotta pay.
Right, that's a reasonable price though. Like I'm thinking you're gonna say at least 100. You're not paying anything under 100 for a rush fee.
Right, exactly. Just like with your barber, you want to skip $100 haircut. Well, that's not really a lot anymore. That's because it's like 50.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but just please, out there listening to us, book ahead of time. At least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. If you could do it 3 weeks, do it 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So just so you don't have to stress and like be on a photographer, because I have people already like already do a shoot, and then the next day they're already asking like, oh,
where my pictures at?
Where my pictures at? How long it gonna be? Like, you know. So it's.
And I think as a client, you have to be a little considerate, because let's just say, okay, so like they said, Jeff shoots for am I gonna say it right? Wrldinvsn. Okay, Wrldinvsn. And so you gotta think about it. I didn't want to say that wrong, but you gotta think about it. Like, he's shooting for Wrldinvsn, and he's also shooting for other brands, companies, and on top of that, he's personal like shoots. Right. So it's just like, you can't come to, as a client, you can't come and just be like, oh, my picture's gonna be, I'm coming Monday, Jeff, I'm coming to shoot with you Monday, and my picture's gonna be done by Friday.
Right, exactly. You're not the only client.
It don't
That's
work
just not
like
with
that.
me. It's with everybody, really.
It don't work like that.
Every.
And I think we kind of get it a little bit more, because we've modeled before, and we know how that goes, and I'm just
right. I think that's one thing too. Like, once you're in the business of like your models, your model. Y'all know what really goes on, but you know, have a better understanding. But regular, clients that just want pictures for the first time, first time, they don't really know what's going on, and I feel like it's really a good time. Like, it's just, you have to have communication really with the client, and not really leave them like blind, because they don't really know. They don't really know better, you know. So if this is the first time you ever booked a shoot, you're not really gonna know what to expect. So you gotta have that communication and let them know, look, you're not the only one, like.
But yeah, in a professional way though, like, and that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He's not. Like as a photographer, he's not saying, oh, like, like telling your clients, oh, well, that ain't gonna get done, or oh, well, I don't have your pictures. Like, there's a way of talking to, your clients as well. So that's what Jeff trying to tell y'all, if any photographer is listening.
No shade.
Right, none. Shade. But you definitely have to know how to talk to your clients. And I feel like, if an instance where disrespect comes in, you still have to, we talked about this last episode too, we'll go back to that. As a realtor, you said, like, you didn't like how you have to deal with uppity people, but you can't, in those instances, you can't be ignorant, because you're representing somebody. So as a photographer, you cannot be ignorant, because at the end of the day, the next person that wants to book with you is probably gonna look like, okay, well, he take good pictures, but I don't know.
Right, and the world, I said the world. The word spreads around, so
it does, like, very fast.
Faithe, like, I did something shady or something, she gonna know, and she gonna tell somebody else, so everything spreads around here, especially the city.
Yeah, New Orleans is very small, so just being like, knowing how to handle certain situations as a business owner, I think that's something that everybody should do. And I totally, completely get that you're going to get some clients that are like just downright disrespectful, that just don't get it, that aren't going to even try to reason with you.
Exactly.
And, you know, you still have to hold yourself to a certain caliber and standard when those situations arise.
Right.
And then block them. I'm trying to book. I'm trying to book.
You cannot book with me anymore.
No.
Right. And you don't even have to tell them. Like, just
they know.
Right.
You're gonna know.
They know.
You're gonna know.
Right.
But I know like I said, me and Jeff work together already, you know, on a constant basis for Wrldinvsn. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did you get started in that, and how long have you been doing it so far?
Started with shooting with them, or
yeah, started shooting with Wrldinvsn.
Well, I started actually because I used to shoot for another brand, and my guy Darren Anderson.
Shout out to Darren if you're watching.
Shout out to Darren. He was just here. He was modeling for the other brand. So Wrldinvsn, he modeled. He got previously modeled for Wrldinvsn, and he. At the time they needed a photographer. They wasn't getting any. They had photographers previously, but it wasn't consistent. You know. So I started. He hit me up. You know, I got in contact. You know, like we started working, and they loved my work and how professional I was and how on time I gave them the pictures, and you know, so they loved that. And then I mean, after that it was a wrap with me. I've been working with them consistently, really every week, 2-3 shoots. I think probably 4 shoots one time. Yeah, every week, weekly. Yeah, we be on Faithe. I be Faithe. You know, one of the main models here. She stays working with them, and we work together.
Yeah,
but really for about a year and some change, really now that we've been like consistently working every week.
You passing by so fast.
Yeah,
it felt like longer than that though.
It might have been longer. I don't know. I mean, I have so much stuff in my head. Yeah, I think. Yeah, a year and a few months.
Couple few,
yeah. But shout out to my guys. You know, they been really good to us.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my question. I'm looking
like questions.
No, I have not ran out of questions. I got a whole book over here.
Me neither, sis.
Okay. If there is anything you struggle with as a photographer, tell me about it, and how do you work to overcome it? Or if you don't, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you don't have anything. Just touch on anything you think anybody else would have as a photographer, a struggle that anybody else would have as a photographer.
That's a good question. I'm thinking now.
They got that boy speechless, right?
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Jeff, I come with the deep questions. I like to get down.
She do, yo. Damn, she be catching big old Lord.
Yeah, I like to make people think.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was like the questions I thought you were gonna have, like, what's your name?
That's not.
Why you were doing
wait, y'all. Why he sound like Faithe?
Yeah, no, but well, that's a good question. I really don't even have an answer for that.
So let me just
give me an example.
An example, like let's just say editing. Like let's just say starting out editing. For instance, like I know some of y'all, like photographers, like y'all's editing is like so precise. Like you can literally fix the hair strand on somebody. You can literally fix a frontal on somebody.
Yes,
like the wig.
Right.
So do you think that would be something you struggle with, or would it be something like as far as just in general, like being hard on yourself, like, oh, I have to like be like return?
Wow, you said really. Sometimes I feel like I'm hard on myself when it comes to certain things. Like I think I overthink sometimes. Like I could sit there and edit a picture, and I might like over want to make it perfect instead of just like. Because I could really be editing a picture for 3 hours, like one picture, like trying to perfect that picture. I mean, photography, it really takes long. You could be editing a picture for hours, like literally like 3 hours, one picture. But I feel like sometimes I'm hard on myself when it comes to that. Like, I feel like, man, like, I start stressing, like...
You want your work to be good.
Right. I start stressing, like, oh my God. You got me stressing thinking about it right now.
I'm sorry. We gotta talk about the good stuff.
Yeah.
But we also gotta talk about the bad.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because I feel like everybody in every aspect is hard on themselves.
Right.
But as a photographer, like I said, when I wrote down this question, that's what I was thinking about, y'all. I'm like, okay, when they edit, you're like literally, okay, I gotta edit this, and I'm just thinking about, like, and I've watched y'all before, like, photographers I've worked with edit hair strands and stuff like that, and I'm just looking like, how do y'all not get stressed out about this? Because it's just like little stuff, but it makes
so
a difference in the picture.
And it's really because, I'd say it's probably because I care, because I'm the type of person that I care about what you say, the client, what the client. I want you to be happy.
Right.
So if I think that it's not perfect enough to your standards that you want, like, I'm gonna be here stressing, and that's my problem. Sometimes I don't know when to stop because I just want the person to be happy, like with the final, with the final.
That's
product.
your name on the line.
Right, that's your name on your line.
That's your name on the line.
That should really be with everybody that's that has something. Really, you want your product to be top of the line,
Right, because
that's your name on that. That's your name on that.
Right, somebody's paying you, and they already see, like,
especially that part, they're paying you.
Right, they're paying you for your service, right? So you want it to be. So I think sometimes I just want it to be so perfect, and that's what I'm hard on myself.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense because, like I said, we're gonna talk about the good stuff, but we also gonna talk about the stuff that, maybe we don't see whatever we don't see about Jeff. We just see his pictures, but we don't see the stress, the blood, the sweat, the tears that he puts in. And so, like he said, it take you how long to edit a picture?
Right.
One picture, and y'all make one of y'all pictures the next day. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Right, because look, they stressing over how these pictures gonna come out, and y'all want these pictures a little too fast.
Right. Exactly, a little too fast.
But what would be
oh, she freehanding. She free balling now.
Nah, I fixed that. I already looked at my phone. So if somebody wants to get if you were talking to someone who wanted to get into photography, what would be the best advice that you can give them when they're first starting out? What would be one thing that you would tell them that you wish you could have told yourself when you first started?
I wish I would have told myself?
Yeah, when you first started.
No, that's a good question.
I guess we come with that.
I don't know. Like, I feel like really practicing. If you could get under somebody to teach you, like a mentor to do that, because when I started, like, the market now, they have a lot of photographers, but when I started, there really wasn't a lot, and social media was not like it is now. You gotta think about it. When we were in high school, Instagram is not what it is now.
Oh no.
So you gotta think about it. I started before all this social media stuff.
Yeah.
So, and it was hard to even, like, reach photographers, like, I didn't really know any photographers. So now you could actually reach out to photographers
at the tip of your
right. Hey, can I come assist you? Can I assist you, or anything? So really, like, just seek out for help. There's a lot of help out there, and I'm sure a photographer would really appreciate if you assist them, just holding a light for the photographer. You're gonna learn, So I think that.
And even y'all, even the phones that we have nowadays, like, say for example, if somebody didn't have, like, the money, say if the people didn't have the $2,000, to start up, y'all, if y'all have any type of
camera,
iPhone 10 and up, like
iPhone 10 or Android.
Please don't try to take no pictures on a flip phone. Please don't do it.
No, like, y'all, these cameras are so powerful, especially if you shoot in the right
settings.
Yeah, in the right settings. Like, y'all, I be making reels and stuff like that, and the quality looks so good when I'm on 4K 60. Just giving y'all a camera set. The quality is really, really nice. And even if you want to shoot YouTube videos, or you want to be this content creator, you can definitely start on your phone.
Right.
You can definitely start on your phone, and that's like the cheapest way to start getting into it. And then when people really start noticing what you have going on, then that's and people start paying you, and then that's when you can start getting start getting the camera, start getting the certain lights and everything that you need. So start this device right here. Get started.
I think that's good advice though. I definitely think that's good advice, because I feel like a lot of people like that want to be content, and I'm guilty of this, because I'm gonna let y'all know. When I first really started to, and I said I wanted to start a YouTube video, it's just probably like a year ago I actually started looking into it, but I wanted to start a YouTube video for like 2 years maybe. And I was just like, I had too many bills at the time. Like, I wasn't bringing in the money that I'm bringing in now. So I was just like, I don't really have the money to just put up $600 on a camera or whatever. And I was just like, okay, let me go on YouTube and let me see. Like, people really started off with their phones. They really started off with their phones. So I feel like if you don't have the money, if you don't have the resources and stuff, you can definitely find an alternative that's suitable for you, and then work your way up to what you need.
Because there's no excuses. There's really no excuses at this point, because you can do so much on
phones,
here. It's definitely, and I'm not gonna take away the fact that it's not hard to start shit up, but it's like the fact that if you do have an iPhone, you're not making the excuse, oh, I don't have a camera, I don't have this, I don't have that, but you do. Right. So it's like, and of course that's with certain things. I'm not going to say that's for everything, but it is going to be hard. But if you push yourself and just start, like Jeff said at the beginning, it's all about just starting somewhere, and then you're eventually going to get there. You're not going to have everything at the beginning. You're not going to have everything at the beginning. Like Jeff said, he's still learning certain things today. I'm still learning certain things what I do, and Natalie is still learning certain things what she does. You're never gonna stop learning. You're never gonna stop learning. So
every day is a lesson.
Yes, every day. Every day.
So Jeff, what programs do you use for your editing? How do you stay up to date with new equipment and software?
Okay, so I use Photoshop and Lightroom. I use Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One. I have Final Cut and Premiere Pro. So Premiere Pro and Final Cut is for video editing. I'm sure y'all know about that. And Capture One, Lightroom, and Photoshop, that's for, what is that?
I don't know.
No?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so that's for the photography. So I pay a membership for Lightroom and Photoshop. It's about like $200 a year, which it comes out better than, because you get paid months a month. So I pay for that membership and always stay up to all updates, get all updates. Every time they update the programs, I update it. It's not really, you gotta think about it as an investment. So I don't really want to be bootlegging programs out there. You know? So I see it as an investment, and I just stay where every little thing that it comes out with the updates, I get it. So yeah, in Capture One, I started really using that program. I had it, but I used to use Lightroom more, but now more into the creative. I feel like Capture One is a better program when it comes to color grading your images for like creative. Is a better program. If you're a photographer, you know that Capture One is just like so much you could target when it comes to skin color and just the color range on.
You could get more in detail.
When it comes to So I've been using Capture One a lot more now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what really I said. Like, every day you learn things, because I was always like using Lightroom, but I got into learning more about Capture One, and I'm actually loving that program a little more now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Not to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
I just think, like I said, we know the modeling aspect and like the lighting aspect and the editing, but we don't really know too much about the editing software aspect. So I just wanted to ask that for anybody, starting out, like where should you start? How much, he just told you how much he pays, like what you said, a year?
Yeah, like $200 for like a year.
Yeah.
But y'all, some stuff is free.
Right, some stuff is free, right?
Lightroom, the regular, because I know what he's talking about. I have Lightroom on my phone. I think the original version is free. And then when you start getting up there, they'll have like the different versions. Right,
because I have like the pro version, and it's like the photography bundle where there's Lightroom and Photoshop together. Lightroom, and so it's like both programs for the photography. So it's a really good combo there.
Okay. All right. So I'm just curious. So you were in high school when you first started, right?
Right.
What were you doing before that? Do you have like a job before that, or?
Right. That's a good question. I thought you were gonna take that.
So y'all got too many good questions.
So look. So when I graduated high school, my parents. Shout out to my parents.
Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to my parents. My parents are really good motivation, really good motivation for me and doing this now really like full time, because my dad never wanted me to go the path that I went after high school, which it was working in a refinery. I worked in a chemical plant for a good little minute. And my dad did that for a long time, since the 80s. My dad was working in a chemical plant. He knew, that that's not the life that the way you want to go. You either want to go to college or do something different.
Right.
And I wanted the money. Like my parents wanted to retire. My dad's old. My dad's 75, I believe, and he wanted to retire. We're from the island, Dominican Republic, and he wanted to retire. And I was like, well, if I don't start making money, my parents can't retire. My parents can't go back to their country,
Yeah.
So I started working right away. I got in a plant, and they were able to leave. Actually, when I started working there, like about a year, they left. They went back to the island. That's where they're
still there now.
They're there now.
Okay.
And I worked in a plant while still doing photography, but not full time. I was just people would call me, do a wedding for me, or take pictures of my kids, or this event, and I would do it, and I got so busy to the point where people would call me, and just because of my job, I wouldn't be able to do the work because I had to work.
Right.
If you're working in plants, or anybody, you're always working turnarounds. Yeah, I don't know.
My dad is in Weldon. Well, he was in Weldon.
Right.
So, and even the job that he's in now, he told me about like the turnarounds. He told me about
Well,
that.
I used to be a pipe fitter, so I work with a lot of welders. So I had to work most 7 days, 12 hours. You gotta think about it. If you're trying to do photography and you can't. I had to deny so many people. I couldn't because a job. And sometimes I would look bad because people would ask me to do a shoot or something, and then they would tell me at the job that I had to you got to stay over, or you got to work on a weekend when it wasn't planned, and you can't tell these people no,
Right.
So it got to the point where I was like, wow, I'm getting enough clients to actually, stop.
Quit this shit.
Right. So I came, when I was there, I was like, what can I do?
So how did you quit? Like, that's what I'm like.
How I quit. All right. So I had a pretty good, I bought a house when I was 23 years old. So
shouts out to you. That's
right. That is lit.
So I bought this house, cool, with the working in a plant. I bought this house. I was like, I got my house now. I was like, I'm getting clients. I'm gonna tell my boss that I put my 2 weeks in. So I put my 2 weeks in, and
they was following the rules.
Right. No, I was definitely following the rules. I didn't want to burn any bridge. You gotta think about it. I'm entrepreneurial world, like I don't really know what to expect. Like, because anything really could happen.
Right.
Yeah, that's very
You're thinking about, I got all these clients right now.
I got the security.
If I quit my job.
I got the security right here where I'm getting paid. I'm getting a paycheck every week.
No, that's facts.
And I'm about to go out there and I know what, like, what if people booking me now when nobody booking me tomorrow?
Right.
And
I think that's why a lot of people are scared to get into entrepreneurship, because you never know what's going to go on. Like, so much stuff can happen.
Right.
So much stuff can happen. Like you said, with the security, a lot of people want security, and with entrepreneurship, there's no security. Even if like you really at the top, like the next day you could have a bad ass day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you never know, and I feel like that's why a lot of people don't get into entrepreneurship, because it's not secure.
Right. So the job, I put my 2 weeks in, and they were actually okay with me. They weren't mad at me at all. I mean, you can't really get mad at somebody for leaving, right? But they were actually pretty like, if it doesn't work out, you could come back.
Oh, that's
you know. That's and good. I really appreciated that. I was like, wow. Like at first, when I was working there, it wasn't the same energy, because when I had to leave, they would actually get mad. But I had to leave, like, I gotta do. I used to try not to tell them, much of my life, but they were actually, you could come back, and they were actually pretty proud of me, and actually keep in contact with a lot of the people that I worked with. That's and so I quit my job, and really the rest was history. But I had another little gig when I quit my job. Y'all want to know what it was?
Yes, of course.
I used to do Uber part-time. Uber helped me out a lot.
Okay.
Because you got to think about it. I had the photography coming in from here and here, but I wasn't a full-time photographer yet.
Correct.
So I wasn't making constant money. So I was doing a little bit of Uber, like really at night, on the mornings, and then business started booming, and that's it. I quit that, but it helped me out because that was kind of like a little job where I would be my own boss too. I was my own boss, not really doing what I wanted to, but I had the freedom of not having not have a set schedule of going to work.
Because with Uber, you could pick up anything that you want.
Anything that you want. So that really helped me out a lot. And then business just started coming in, and I'm here now. Just doing this full time. But I'm pretty happy, because I actually that's one of the first kind of like big moves that I took, like risks, because it's really hard leaving, like I said, it's really hard leaving a steady income.
Comfortability is easy.
Right.
It's very easy. And I think in entrepreneurship, like you say, having security is not a definite. It's not a definite. I can have clients today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, and the next week I can have no clients at all.
Right.
So
the bills is still coming.
Bills
is still like coming. Faster when you ain't got no money.
He said we ain't got no money.
You ain't got no money, those bills
real
talking
like, damn.
You be like, damn. Auto pay, here come deduct, and you just be looking like,
you see the little rands in your account.
Wait, y'all, I had seen this meme on Instagram, and there was like, this girl had on a ponytail, and it was like, when auto pay come, and the auto pay came, snatch the ponytail off the girl.
That's really how it is.
It's like, damn, that's tough.
Really
that's tough.
I like hearing stories about people like quitting their job and following their dreams, and it actually it works out, because in that instance you're like scared, like you said, because here I am, I'm about to quit my job. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna get, like, you literally trusting in God. Like, that's literally all you're doing, that it's all gonna work out. And you see, like, if you want to be a photographer,
not really. That really applies on anything, really.
Right, if you want to be do anything
head first.
Y'all, and that's the thing. And I don't want us to go over this. Like, Jeff had that secure job, and I'm pretty sure with him doing that, and also with the Uber, that helped out with his photography and him being able to be able to purchase his cameras and his lighting and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That can somewhat make things easier for you, because I know a lot of people are so quick to try to quit their 9-to-5s and quit this and quit that, quit the security,
right,
and then just jump out on the limb. And sometimes, like, this worked out for you, that may work out for them, but it also is a stepping stool to help you purchase certain things that you need, because you are getting this this security and the constant income to be able to supply this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you can't get this piece you know, on this paycheck, all right, I'm gonna get it on the next one, you know. And even if you're not like purchasing everything all at one time, you know, you have that job to help you week by week. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing too. Like, when you have a job, you got to take advantage of that, because that's gonna help you out a lot. Like that job, like, all right, like, especially if
you don't have no responsibilities, y'all. Especially if y'all don't have no responsibilities.
Yeah, because I mean, I got a house and all, and yeah, there's a lot of money. You know how much houses, the money you have, especially when you have a house. Like, every time breaking something every time you put out money that was not expected to be spent.
It's not like an apartment, right? You don't have a maintenance man. You are the maintenance man.
You are the maintenance man, exactly. So that job, having a job, is gonna help you out a lot. Like, whatever business you're, buy your little thing this week, the next week buy something else. You don't have to buy everything at the same time, because all the stuff that I have now has been bought throughout the years. It's not I bought everything at the same time. Like, sometimes people are like, oh, you got this, you know. Like, it's been years of me buying things, and that's how everything adds up. Yeah, and also shout out to my girl, because
shout out to the girl.
Shout out to my girl.
If you're watching this, what's her name?
Janelle.
Shouts out to Janelle.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because you gotta think about it. Also, if you have a partner, you know, like, your partner's gonna help you out a lot. And she, when I was gonna quit, like, she had my back the whole time. You know, like, she had got herself a job doing insurance, and that helped out too. You know, it helped out too, because, you know, whenever I couldn't really bring in the money, she was there behind me, you know, like, but I was still grinding though. It wasn't, you know, it was just that I didn't have, like,
you couldn't do it all at the time.
Right. So, but now, like,
I think in entrepreneurship, in anything you do, you should have a supportive partner and somebody that you can lean on. I think you know, I'm not, like, as we get older, you want somebody that, like, with stability. Like, if I don't have it, can I call on you? Are you gonna have it? Like, somebody that's gonna believe in you, because you don't want somebody behind you that's like, oh, like, this is what you're doing, like, you need to just give it up. It ain't working out. It ain't looking good for you.
You just pushing that person away at that point. You're literally pushing that person away.
So that is definitely dope that you had somebody.
Right, and it doesn't really have to be your partner. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. You know, just having somebody there behind you, because I know everybody doesn't really have a partner. You know, and you could have somebody there supporting you. You know, parents, cousin, friend.
Right.
It makes it easier.
Right. It makes it easy. You know,
because if everybody, like, you know, if everybody, like, against you and not being supportive of what you got going on, that takes a toll on you, and that makes you not. You have to be a very strong person to continue to grow when everybody else is against you.
Pushing you down. Right. You need, and then, I mean, as you get older, you know who's there for you and who's not there for you. Who has the best intentions, you know. So you kind of like clean your crew, you know, and mold your as you get older, you kind of mold your friends and
I agree. But y'all, like last episode, we have the ladies' night edition cards on.
Shit.
Obviously, you see, it's not all the ladies' night. We have a man here, right? We have a man here. So, but these cards are, you know, they're kind of diverse. I would say we can
modify them too.
Yeah, we can modify them. So we're gonna have Jeff pick the first card.
Okay.
You're gonna take a little small deck from right here.
Is Jeff asking us?
No, we gonna ask him.
Ask me.
We're gonna ask him first, and then we'll go from there.
She took half of them. He took.
Yeah, we don't need no big old deck. All right.
Okay. All right.
What you
Let me
picking?
see. Hold up. Let me see which one you marked.
All right.
From the middle.
All right, let's see. Well, look.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
It says, would you ever ask a man on a date? Why or why not?
Would I ever ask a woman on a date? Why would I?
Yeah. So the woman version.
Right. Of course. Why not? I mean, I feel like somebody got to do it. I mean.
So basically, you saying you gonna make the first move.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
But you know, now in this day and age, girls shoot their shots.
No, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
So when you, so
not saying anybody shot no shot at me,
yeah,
but
no, yeah,
I'm just saying like I'm seeing
about to X this.
I'm seeing from the outside in, like I see like girls are more like.
Right.
Jeff is taking you.
Wait, this for your girl when she watched. So did you ask her like out when y'all first met?
Did I ask her? Yeah, I asked her. We were, matter of fact, we were friends. She didn't really even like me like that. So, so like, I had to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Wait, so what made you, what made you be like, all right, like, I want to ask her out on a date? Like, what did you see in her? I know you say you guys were friends. So what did you see in her? What quality did you see that made you want to move forward, like, and go with your move?
Well, I mean, a lot of quality, good qualities. I feel like I saw
you got a lot of good qualities.
A lot of good qualities, of course. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, we were friends for so long. I've been knowing her since we were friends in elementary school.
Oh, that's dope.
Right, and we got together in high school, so I've been seeing her through all her, phases. I mean, something about to happen, like.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just see. I mean. I don't know.
It worked out. It worked out.
It did work out.
It worked out.
Right. So it's I just the qualities I've seen everything that I like. Like
yeah.
And she's a really good woman. She good mom. Everything.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait till I'm there.
But y'all, our camera is about to die.
Oh Jesus.
So definitely dope to have you here, Jeff. I definitely
appreciate y'all for real.
This is a real good interview, y'all. This is really good. So if anybody that wants to become a photographer, please do your research. Jeff, I don't know if you open to have people come and ask you questions, but
of course,
if y'all want to ask him questions, what's your information? Where can the people find you?
People can find me on Instagram as Jeff, Jeffrey. Oh, not Jeff. Wait, I spelled my whole name.
Jeff.
At Jeff. Nothing in the middle. Sarita.com.
Well, Jeff Sarita on Instagram.
Right, Jeff Sarita, and the same thing as my website. That's the same thing.
JeffSarita.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And y'all can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Your faithful realtor.
Okay.
And I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Natalie Lucia. And side note, don't just look. Make sure you book. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Hey.
Don't look.
Hey, I'm booked. I'm about to use that. Don't just look. Book.
Yes. Because he gonna have your pictures nice, clean, and cut. Okay.
Right. That's fine. Yes. I like that.
All right, y'all. Thank you for joining the F&N Radio Podcast. This was episode 2. Thank y'all.
Bye.